let me know who you are. Say hello. I would love to have you. I would love to have you. I'm so happy to have you. Oh my gosh. I'm really, really looking forward to today's live. This is for if you've been struggling, if you are ready to release that holiday weight, if you want to get your body back, especially women over 40, and you are ready. You are ready. You want to feel good. You want to look good, and you want it to start now, especially for the new year, then you are in the right place and you are with the right person, because this is my specialty. So, and I'm really excited because I also have a special offer for you. So stay tuned. Definitely stay till the end. For those of you that are new to me, and let me just say, again, the title of this video, as everybody is coming in, we're going to lose holiday weight, women over 40. It's what to do this week to really jumpstart your healthy girl era going into 2026 for you to feel and look your best. And that's what we're going to do here. So say hello. Let me know where you're coming from. Melissa, happy Sunday as well. It is so good to see you. Louise, everybody, as you're coming in, please say hello. Karen, Stephanie, what's up, lady loves? It is so good to be with you. So I hope everybody had a beautiful holiday, and let's get into the goods that I have for you today. So in this live, I really want to give you practical and tactical things that you can do to support yourself in really releasing weight and starting off the new year feeling great. And I think a lot, I was even at dinner with a friend of mine last night, and I was like, it has just been nonstop. It has been parties and get-togethers and family and the just a lot of celebration, which is lovely. But you also kind of hit that saturation point of you're ready to get back to you. So this is about losing holiday weight, especially women over 40, what to do this week, and how to set yourself up for the most successful 2026, where you really, really feel amazing in your body. So if you're a woman over 40 thinking, I need to lose weight, but I am so over this dieting cycle, I'm frustrated with myself, I always have, lose 10 pounds, or I had released weight and now I'm feeling puffy again, and I'm feeling just not good. And is this my hormones? Is this perimenopause, menopause? What's going on? Today, I'm going to share with you exactly what to do this week to start releasing the weight, to reverse. Because here's the thing, no damage was really done. It's all where we put our energy. And as somebody that not only, so for those of you that are new to me, I am a holistic nutritionist. I have a background in fitness. I am 47 years old. I don't have a thyroid. I have maintained weight loss after doing the program that then I ended up running and selling for, over 20 years. This is the program that I did that got me off of dieting for good and healed my relationship with food and my body. And that was what I did for the first 10 years in my career. I was known as the Done With Dieting girl, helping women to truly, like I said, release the weight, get off the dieting train, and learn how to eat for their bodies so they never had to diet again. And as a nutritionist and a body intuitive, so like I had healed myself of cancer, I really studied not only my background as in women and self-sabotaging behaviors and the psychology of self-sabotaging behaviors. Thank you for the love, guys. But it was also in understanding the psychology of the relationship to food. And what I really got known for was we had thousands of women go through our program, was really, understanding that food started taking on human connection, and that it wasn't just about dieting, and that so much of it is the identity of a dieter. And if you have the identity, and that's what we're going to talk about today, I want to give you practical, actual things that where you're like, okay, I'm going to shift this habit or this way of eating, and give you things that you may not have heard before, because there is so much noise in the world of dieting, especially online, and people saying, eat this way, don't eat that way. And something that I could tell you is, Your body has a specific set of rules and ways that it wants to eat for you, and they're very specific to you. And I will also tell you that your body wants to be at its ideal weight. It doesn't want excess weight. We are animals by nature. Excess weight just makes it harder on the body. But when you have an identity as a dieter, you will always be a dieter because you have that identity. That's what you're holding to be true. So whether you like it or not, the words that you speak into existence around you is what will perpetuate what you experience. Many don't talk about that in the world of dieting. It's often don't eat this, eat that. It's a simple equation. Less calories, move more. And yes, that's true to a degree. But if you've been dieting your whole life, then it is not that simple, because you have an identity that has you beholden to eating a certain way and having beliefs around food. See, I always say it's never the brownie that caused the weight gain. It's you ate the brownie and then there was a succession of thoughts and behaviors that had you not just eat one brownie, but then eat a slice of pizza and then have some chips and then tell yourself you'll deal with the repercussions tomorrow. That is not somebody that doesn't have a relationship with food. That's somebody that has an identity as a dieter. So again, it was never about the brownie. You can eat a brownie. It's not about the brownie. It's about what you're making the brownie mean about you. And I know that might sound it may sound oversimplified, or it may just be like, what the hell is she talking about? So I'm going to explain all of this in today's video or in today's live. But what I really want to say to you, and if I'm looking in different directions, it's because we're streaming on multiple platforms at one time. But I want to hear from you. Are you feeling puffy? Are you wanting to release weight? Have you spent a lot of your life dieting, or are you constantly in that losing 10, gaining 10 place? Where are you in that spectrum? I'd love to hear. And for those of you that are really wanting to release weight, this is what we're going to do. So I want to give you like a little step-by-step plan on what to do this week to help you just feel better in your body. So first of all, I want you to look at and ask yourself, let's go into like the identity piece, because I don't want you, yes, I could sit here and say front load protein, and we're going to move into, I'm not ever going to talk about like all the macros and this and that, but I could easily be like, let's cut out your starches. We're going to go in for more protein. Let's up your movement level. Like, we all know all the things. You all know them. You could Google right now, you can get on ChatGPT and turn ChatGPT into your nutritionist and say, ChatGPT, give me the ideal weight loss plan. Here are my numbers. This is my goal. Tell me exactly what to eat to release weight. Like, everybody can go and do that. There's a reason why you haven't, and there's a reason why it hasn't worked. And it's because you identify as being a dieter and as somebody that struggles with their weight. And your connection to food is what's creating the biggest imbalance. So I want you to ask yourself just this identity. Who is the version of you who doesn't diet? Who is the version of you that's at their ideal weight, that doesn't even worry about what you're eating and really just feels good in their body? I want you to actually sit and do an exercise where you write down and just take 5 minutes and write down as an identity exercise, who is the version of me that's at her ideal weight or his ideal weight, that doesn't worry about dieting, that doesn't even think about food, that eats when I'm hungry, I stop when I'm full, I'm at my ideal weight, I wear whatever I want, I always look good, and I have no food noise. I'm not thinking about it. I don't care about what my next meal is. I'm just at my ideal weight. How is that version different than you? What would they do differently? How would they view movement? See, a long time ago, and for those of you that are new to me, you don't know this, I spent most of my life dieting. Yes, like we could say, I've done a fitness competition. I won the International Natural Body Federation. I am a holistic nutritionist. I have a background in fitness. I have now been the same weight since I healed my relationship with food, since I've been, 27? So I'm at the exact same weight. I can wear the same clothes. I'm sitting here in my Lulu's. I'm a size 4, and I'm 47 without a thyroid, right? And many would say I'm in perimenopause. I don't actually subscribe to any of this stuff, but whatever it is, and I've healed that relationship with food. I'm not sitting here going, I need to lose weight before the new year, but I always was. And food actually dominated my thoughts. I was an emotional eater. I had disordered eating. I've tried every diet, you name it. I know all the points in every Weight Watchers meal. I was brought to a Weight Watchers meeting when I was 12 years old. And I remember I was like, I don't know why I'm here. I guess I'm overweight. I was never any more than like 15 pounds overweight. I'm 5'4" though, and 15 pounds looks like 30 pounds overweight. But food and my body was always a point of contention. And I was celebrated when I lost weight. And so then I got all of my worth from my weight. And when you do that, when you are, our subconscious mind stops forming after the age of 8. And for girls, our identity and the way that we start to view our body, we get more critical around ourselves and our body. And we start to actually look as a third-party observer on ourselves at the age of 10. And so my weight was that's been my storyline most of my life. It was, I'm not enough because of my weight. If I was happy, it was because my weight was down. If I was sad, it's because I had gained 5 pounds. I always say I was either hating myself skinny or hating myself fat. And I know we're not supposed to say that, but that's really the truth of it. If I was up 5 pounds, I was like, I don't want to go out tonight. And then I would sit home and emotionally eat. I didn't necessarily, I wasn't anorexic or bulimic, but my relationship with food and my relationship with myself, I was so unkind to myself. I worked out not because I enjoyed it, but because I wanted to burn the calories. And I would emotionally eat in private, and I had a lot of food shame and guilt. So I have run the gamut on all the things. I have worked with thousands around the world in my, I've been doing this work for over 20 years. And I have worked with every type of woman, those that want to lose 100 pounds to those that have no weight to lose, but actually need to heal the psychology of how they see themselves. So I always say, weight loss, it is a psychological game. And it is so much about the identity of who you believe yourself to be. I can mark memories around my life based on my weight. My Christmases, it went well if I felt better in my body. The judgment that I feel, and had I didn't know about identity work then. I now specialize in reinvention and supporting women in midlife to powerfully reinvent themselves so that their success is inevitable and their dreams come true, right? Essentially, in so many words. And that's from their body to wealth, to their purpose and their career, to love, you name it, it's theirs, because they reinvented themselves. I didn't know this work then. And so now that I know it, I actually had a program that I created, Love Your Body, Lose the Weight, was divinely downloaded to me because I found myself on my knees in my New York City apartment, just throwing my hands up to God and just sitting there saying, like, I can't do this anymore. Like, I am so done. I'm done hating myself. I'm done, like, I don't like feeling that I hate myself and my body. And I just remember, and I got guided to exactly what to do. And it forever changed my life and healed me. And then I turned that into the work that I then went and did in the world for many years. And that program is available to you guys today. We run a sale one time a year. And this program, Love Your Body, Lose the Weight, is 50% off. It is in the QR code for those of you watching me on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. It's there, and will be in the description below. And anybody on TikTok, we will have it in the link in my bio. If you want that, the first 20 people will get a bonus call with me where I will support you in hot seat coaching and working through this program and how it can best support you. But I'm telling you, it will change your life. It will change your body, and it will forever change your relationship with food, because I didn't know it then, but that program had built-in identity work to truly change the way you see yourself, because your self-concept is everything. And if you identify as a dieter, you will always be on a diet. If you identify as somebody that struggled with your weight, you will always struggle with your weight. If you have because your weight is directly tied to your level of worth. So who is the version of you that's at their ideal weight, that doesn't diet, that never worries about their body? Who is she? I want you to write it in the I am, I have. You're not going to write I would be or someday. You're not going to talk about her in the future. It is the I am, I have. I actually want you to create the self-image of the version of you who's at their ideal body, who feels incredible, who loves themselves implicitly, where food is just food and you are living your best life. See, when you are a dieter, or when you're always wanting to lose weight, then food ends up taking front and center stage. You're no longer the star of the show, but that's who you were intended to be. But food ends up taking up 75% of your thoughts, of what you're doing, where you wake up thinking, what am I eating for breakfast? I've got to work out today. What am I going to wear? How am I going to feel in my body? I'm frustrated. And right away, women will go to nitpicking and looking at their belly. Are they bloated? How are they looking? And how are they feeling? And then they allow that. I'm sorry, I have like a hair that's like tickling my face. They allow that to dictate what they do and how they feel and how they show up in the world and whether or not they're confident. Confidence is claimed. It's not, I'll be confident when I lose the weight. And that's what needs to shift. So I want you to really start to own certain mantras and affirmations of I'm calm around food. I have the power over what I choose. I trust my body. I feel confident and at peace in my body. See, identity is what dictates behavior. If you identify as somebody that feels good in their body, then you will end up doing behaviors that align with a woman who loves herself and feels empowered around in her body and around food. But if you are a woman who feels unworthy and insecure and is deeply judging herself and feeling not enough, then that will end up, there's something that I say within my community. I'm like, if you eat crap, you will feel like crap and you will do crappy things. It's not the most professional, but it's very true. If you actually, and if you look at the neuroscience, if you eat shitty food, excuse my French, you will tell yourself shitty things and you will then act unkind to yourself and have really shitty thoughts about yourself. When you eat clean foods, so when I teach about food, and you'll see this in my Love Your Body, Lose the Weight program, when you get it, and I'm telling you right now, it will change your life and you will release the weight and you will feel so good and you will learn how to eat for your body and how to eat for yourself in a way. Most women have no idea what their body needs. When I've sat and I've done talks and I have a quiz. I wrote a book called Eat Right for Your Archetype. There's 4 archetypes. There's the avoider, the nurturer, the perfectionist, and the rebel. And all of those archetypes directly correlate to a psychological profile about how you eat. You can go and do that quiz. It's on my website. I'm not taking any co-hosts, guys. So what I want to tell you is, when you really start to understand the way you see yourself and the way that you view yourself directly correlates to the foods that you eat and how they actually impact you and your body, we shift cellularly. And it is so powerful to understand this. And I really, really want you to come into the identity of the version of you who's at their ideal weight, the version of you who feels good in their body, the version of you who is empowered around food and actually knows how to eat when she's hungry and stops when she's full, who knows when she's hungry. Most women, when I've sat and had talks and I've said, why are you eating breakfast? And I'll go, are you actually hungry? Many of them have looked at me confused and they'll go, no, I don't really know when I'm hungry. I eat breakfast because I thought that's what you're supposed to do. Or I ate breakfast because that's what, I thought that's the healthy thing to do. Or that's just what, my mom taught me or what we did in my family. And I said, are you actually hungry? See, when you start to pay attention to your hunger cues, your body regulates on its own. And it starts eating in alignment with what actually feels really good for it versus eating just because. That's a huge difference. And that is the difference between you being at your ideal weight and you being 10 pounds over or struggling with your weight. It's really, really fascinating. So the mindset around food and energetics, when you shift this, food becomes neutral. It's food, it's fuel. I want the highest level of fuel so that I have the focus to do what I want to do today, so that I can get from point A to point B. But when you're eating from the dieter, you're not eating for fuel. You're not looking at, wow, I want good protein. I want healthy fats. I want colorful food. I want living foods. Foods that have color, foods that can't live if they're not in a refrigerator, that they need to be thrown out. When you eat from your mindset, when you eat from the dieter, you want sugar. You want things that live in bags and boxes, that live in your cupboards. That's not living food. That's manufacturer food. It's chemically processed food that was manufactured to keep you addicted to it and feeling low vibration. So when I teach about the energetics and I teach about raising your frequency as an intuitive, I'm bringing that into the work that I do. This is inside our Love Your Body, Lose the Weight program as well. How to actually eat and select foods that are going to fuel you being intuitive, opening up your channel and actually eating in a way that gives you the focus and the clarity that you need, and eating in a way that beautifies your skin, that gives you that glowing skin, that helps you to age in reverse, that also gives you endless energy so that you can go and do the things that you want to do. And that's truly what we want to do. And what that looks like, again, is eating clean, whole foods closest to their natural state. This is when we start operating from, instead of shame and restriction, which creates rebellion, right? We start instead eating from nourishing ourselves and operating from hunger versus habit, nourishment versus punishment. And this is the work that we do inside that program. And that's what I'm giving you insight into right here. So what are some key tips that you can start doing this week to help you to get back into your body, to connect in, to regulate your hunger, to stave off cravings? Here are a few quick things that are going to support you, especially women over 40. One, you want to start your morning, you're going to down about 8 ounces of tepid water. You don't want it to be super cold to zap your nervous system first thing in the morning. We don't want to do that and spike any cortisol levels. And we don't need it to be hot, just warm water or tepid water. You're going to do 8 ounces to flush the body of toxins that accumulated overnight. The body is releasing waste overnight. It's detoxifying. So you want to support your body in cleansing and clearing with that 8 ounces of water in the morning. 16 ounces is even better. Then you want to move to have warm water. You're going to get half an organic lemon. You're going to press it and you're going to put in your water. Do a dash of Ceylon cinnamon. This is CEYLON, and a dash of cayenne pepper. The cinnamon and the cayenne pepper, cinnamon speeds your metabolism 30 times the amount, and the cayenne pepper is going to jumpstart your metabolism as well, activating the bile in your belly to, again, help in the detoxification that we want to support our body with overnight. As a holistic nutritionist, this is one of the most important things that we want to do to prime the body in the morning. The lemon, the pectin fiber in the lemon is also going to boost your mood while helping to really give you that glowing skin. It's also going to help to stave off cravings while detoxifying the body, as the lemon pulls impurities from the body and helps you to have a morning elimination, which is what we want to do before piling food on. The next thing that's highly supportive to do in the morning is do a shot of, you're going to do 1 to 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar diluted in water. You're going to shoot that back. My favorite is Bragg's. We want it with the mother. And while you're going to do that is, again, that actually acts as a digestive enzyme in the body to, again, neutralize and help your body. Especially your gut is the brain of the body. And what that's doing is helping your body to, again, stave off cravings, neutralize, get your body back into homeostasis to help you to release cravings that are left over from sugar or other things from the night before. We're not going to go and have caffeine first thing in the morning. That's putting acid on top of acid. We want to give your body a break to assimilate and actually detox on its own. The ideal time to have caffeine is about 11. This is where you're not going to spike your cortisol levels. Your insulin's going to be stabilized. And this is when you actually can fuel. We can use the coffee to fuel your metabolism to support as not only a diuretic, but also in giving you the energy and supporting in acting as a buffer with food. So what that's going to do is around that 11 o'clock, most likely you've already worked out or moved your body. If you haven't, then that's what I'm going to advise you to do, is get that movement going first thing in the morning. After you do the lemon water and the shot of apple cider vinegar, most likely you'll have that morning elimination. And then we want to get your body moving. We really want you, there's a mantra that I teach within my community: do what you can, where you can, when you can. But starting off your morning with movement is what's going to help in supporting with your lymphatic system. It's also going to support in releasing and reducing inflammation in the body and jump starting your body into and your metabolism in truly just, I want you to think of your body. We're animals by nature. You know, you take your pet for a walk first thing in the morning. Well, we take our pets for a walk first thing in the morning and we give them water. Why would we take better care of our pets than we would for ourselves? So we want to do the same thing for our body. We want to go out. We want to move our bodies. We want to be in our bodies. And also, just from an intuitive standpoint and connecting in spiritually, this is the time where you can really get in connection with your body. Ask your body what it needs. You and your body are one and the same. We're not wanting to work against our bodies. And this is where I love, in the morning, I go on wonder walks. You can call them manifestation walks, just time with myself. I'm not sitting on my phone. I'm not scrolling first thing in the morning. I'm not doing anything of that nature. This is time for me to connect in and to hear divine guidance and to really get in touch with what I want to create that day, who I want to be, how I want to show up in the world. And I also use those walks as a time for me to give love out to those that I love, and to give thanks for this life, to give thanks for my body, to give thanks for my health. Here is the thing that's just crazy, is we don't, and this is the world of contrast. This is the world of being a human. You know, when I did go through cancer, you really learn what it's like to not have your health, to the sheer waking up with energy, just waking up, not having to go to a doctor's appointment, waking up just feeling so good in your body. And again, I don't want anybody to have to experience cancer or illness or anything. And this is when you get to be so grateful, though, for what you have. And I think that easily gets overlooked when we grab our phones in the morning and we inundate ourselves with social media and scrolling and the influx that just creates such disconnection. So in order to truly heal your body and in order to release weight, we want to come into oneness with ourselves and start to cultivate a deep relationship of appreciation and love instead of frustration or why aren't you doing what I want you to do, or why do you look puffy today, or why is my belly bloated, or why is my body doing this? And instead to come into I have everything I need. I'm so grateful. That morning time with you is incredible. So once you've done that and moving in your body, and I'm going to talk to you about some great ways for you to release weight and how to move in a way for you to see real change in your body, because you do not need 2-hour workouts. What you need is consistency, and you need to cultivate that of a fit identity. One of the things that I did, and one of the best things that I did for myself, I know I shared earlier on about how I was a chronic dieter. When I said, I am done with this, no more, I created a fit identity. And I looked and I said, who is the woman that I want to be? I want to be somebody that takes care of herself. I want to be somebody that is fit and strong. I want to be able to go surfing, rock climbing. I want to be able to lift heavy weights. I want to be able to dance the night. Like, I want to be able to do a multitude of things. And that's when I really learned about functional training. And I wanted to feel strong and toned. I didn't want to be skinny fat. I wanted to look good naked, and I wanted to be really strong. And I knew that I wanted to be strong as I age. When you look at other cultures, when I was in Bali, when I've gone to these, you will see 90-year-old women walking up 1,000,000 steps with rocks in a basket on top of their head, and they are walking up, when I'm talking like slab steps that are like this, going up the side of the hill, and you're just like, what? And they are not, it's like, even if any of you watched that documentary, The Blue Zone, years ago on Netflix, you go to Italy, no one is sitting in lazy boys and elevators and escalators, and, you know, like, you're walking up hills. And so the way that I train, and I want to tell all of you, start to adopt functional training, where you are working on balance and movement and doing things where you're having to actually focus on your mind and what you want to do to shift your identity while you're working out. Listen to subliminals that are building your relationship to yourself, love for yourself, that are fueling the version of you that you want to be while you're moving your body. Why I love fitness so much is it mirrors all of the gaps in your thinking. And I always say, where there's lack, you will fill the gaps with food. You will fill the gaps with numbing out on social media. You will fill the gaps with overspending, overeating, overindulging. Fill those gaps instead with more of you. Fill those gaps with loving yourself. Fill those gaps with building an identity of the version of you who has the millions, who has the body, who is the version that you're proud of. And that starts with the way that you eat. That starts with your identity with yourself. So your stomach is the size of a fist. Really start looking at the plate of food that you have in front of you, or all the snacking that you're doing, and ask yourself, where is it going? And then most will look and they'll go, but Melissa, I eat organic, I eat clean, I don't understand. Why aren't I releasing the weight? And I always say, your diet is everything. What you put into your body trumps your workouts 1,000%. Your workouts are more for that's your happiness pill. That's regulating your hormones. That's you being a good human. Moving your body, for women in particular, that is just you regulating your mood. It is to be your best self for your children, for your spouse, for your followers, your community. Anything else? No. So we want to move our bodies. That's what movement is for. That is a hormone regulator. That is your happiness in a cup. That should not be missed. But when you're really looking at releasing weight, your diet is 90% of it. So when I have women that reach out to me and they're like, but I eat clean and I'm doing all the things, I'm like, then you're still overeating those. So if you're using food to soothe, as I said earlier, where there's lack, you will fill the gaps with food. You will fill the gaps with overindulging in some way. And that is where the excess weight is coming from. When we really, as I said, your stomach's the size of a fist. When you really look at what your body needs to thrive, you want to look at what is the highest fuel that I can give my body for focused attention, to reverse aging, to have glowing skin, to feel amazing, to give me the confidence to show up powerfully. That's what you want to look at, and that's what you're putting on your plate. We want live, colorful foods that live in a refrigerator and need a refrigerator. Anything else, living in bags and boxes, It's like I said, if you eat crap, you will feel like crap, you will do crappy things, and you will think crappy thoughts. So bring this back to the basics, and the basics are what's going to serve you. I promise you. So one of the things and the most powerful things that I will have people do is actually sit and not eat until they feel hungry. And that's when you will know where you actually, what your eating windows are. And most end up eating just because. And when you actually start to pay attention to when you're actually hungry, the thing that I will always hear from the clients that go through our Love Your Body, Lose the Weight program, are students, they're always like, I had no idea, but like, I really don't need that much food. I really don't. And unless they're training for something and they're highly active, but most are very sedentary. We live in a sedentary culture, right? So that's another few key things. So the motto is do what you can, where you can, when you can. I walk with a weighted vest. I go on power walks, and I will sit and I will talk. I will literally talk out loud. I will talk about my day. I will give thanks for things. I will talk about what I'm looking forward to. I will speak my manifestations into it. I will walk for an hour. If you guys follow me on social media, I'm bringing you guys along with me. A weighted vest, it supports not only in extra calorie burn, but in your bone, your skeletal system. It supports with your knees. It supports as you age. I'm about a twofer. I'm like, what's my biggest bang for my buck? If I'm wearing my weighted vest, I bring it into my gym. I walk on the revolving stairs. I'm doing that while I'm also listening to subliminals. Everything that I do has a purpose, and I want to get the most from it. So when I'm in there, like I said, I am listening to subliminals. I've got my weighted vest on, and I'm working out. I'm like, I've got 30 minutes. I'm going to do as much as I can. If I'm in there, I'm looking at, I'm thinking about business things, or that time is for me. So I'm utilizing everything. I'm not just going in haphazardly. I've got a plan. If you don't have a plan, right? It's like fail to plan to fail. So you want to go into your workouts knowing what you're doing. Lift heavy, front load protein at meals, and have a plan. And most of all, have a very clear identity on who you are planning on being. And all of this, by the way, guys, is inside my Love Your Body, Lose the Weight program. It is on sale for 50% off. This week only, we run this sale one time a year. This is my globally recognized program that has supported thousands of women in releasing weight and being done with dieting for good, transforming their relationship with themselves and their bodies. That is the program. And if you want that, the link is in my bio. Those of you on TikTok, message me. We're also adding the link to the bio. Those of you, the barcode is on the screen here, and the link is in the description below. Other things that I want to say, adopt the motto of do what you can, where you can, when you can. We do not need these 90-minute, 2-hour workouts. Do what you can, where you can, when you can. Also, releasing weight does not mean that you restrict. You substitute out and you learn how to eat in a way that feels good for your body. Inside my Love Your Body, Lose the Weight program, we have my cookbook where I have recipes in 5 ingredients and less that I'm like obsessed with dessert. I only like food that tastes good, but I'm also for biggest bang for my buck. I want highly nutrition, like a high nutritional profile, high volume foods. I like to eat a lot of food, but you can compare what I eat with somebody else, and it would be like they get one piece of pizza and like something, and I'm eating like 10 plates, right? But it is so good. I have everything in there from desserts to breakfast bowls to all the things. But again, I can tell you right now, you want to front load protein. Ladies, I need you at 20 to 30 grams of protein at every meal. I want you to think about it like this. You're going to use your hand as measuring. 4 ounces is your palm. 6 goes to the first knuckle. 8 goes to the second set of knuckles. 10 is the top of your middle finger. That is protein. You want to have 30 grams of protein, minimum of 20 at each meal. What that looks like is Greek yogurt, half a cup of cottage cheese, 1 egg and 3 egg whites, 4 ounces of turkey, can of tuna, depending on the tuna that you're using. You want to think in terms of protein. Women are deficient in protein, and the more protein, it builds lean muscles, it keeps you fuller longer, and it staves off cravings, and it gives you focused energy. We really need, so I want you to think about this. You want to think, you want 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. So if you're 130, if you weigh 130 pounds, right, then you want to have 130 grams of protein. Really start to track this and track how much protein you have and what you're eating for at least 1 week. Get MyFitnessPal, it's free. Start to track. If it triggers you being a dieter, then do some other way. But if you don't know where you're starting, you don't know what needs to shift, and you don't know where you're going. So do it for 1 week and be real about what you're eating. And that's going to tell you everything. As I said before, your food is 90% of it. So food is not the star of your life. For those of you, I often will hear this from foodies. They're like, but I love food and I don't want to give up food. Well, you have to ask yourself what's more important. And I'm the star of my life. Food is secondary. When we're looking at food, I want you to start to really adopt the mantra. If it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no. You don't need to eat food just because it's on your plate. The members of the Clean Plates Club, when we look at the psychology of food, I can't tell you the thousands of women that we had that looked at their programming from childhood where they just finished their plate because they learned that they needed to. And when I said, why did you just do that? They're like, I don't know. That's what you did. You have to write your new food rules. This is something we do inside my program. I'm telling you to do it right now. Write your new food rules. You have to understand the psychology of why you do what you do. And if you don't, then you will always be on the dieting train. Identity and mindset is the key. This is what I teach inside Love Your Body, Lose the Weight. If you want it, it's 50% off. I'm doing all the shameless plugs, but I'm telling you right now, it will change not only change your body, it will change your life, because we don't realize how much, if you've been a dieter, you're thinking about food and consumed about your weight. So I want you to take your focus off of food and put it towards you living your dreams. That is why I'm so passionate about this. And this is why I bring this program back this time of year. I don't teach it anymore live, but for the first 20 women who buy this program, you get a group call with me in an intimate container where I will answer your questions and show you exactly how to do this program to support you in truly fully releasing this weight and using it to support you in not only up leveling the way you look and feel, but every area of your life. Because I'm telling you right now, this program can transform you. The women that went through it always told me, they go, this program, releasing the weight was just icing on the cake. It changed my entire life. It changed the way I see myself, the way I love myself, the way my relationships, money, and so on and so on. And that's why I always say, you can change your whole life, up level one area. It can't not up level them all, right? And so what I'm committed to in the work that I do now in reinvention and helping women identity shift to powerfully pivot their purpose to know that their success is inevitable. I want your attention to go off of, I don't want your weight holding you back any longer. That's why I have this program back out. I don't want your weight holding you back. And I see it time and time again. Women don't show up powerfully online because they want to look better. Women don't go for the speaking on stage because they want to look better. They don't start the podcast because they want to release the weight first. I don't want your weight holding you back. And if it's holding you back, then this is the invitation. So shameless plug, sales pitch, here we go. So we just did it. Now let's get back to this. And I will say inside this program, you have cookbook, recipes, workouts, the mindset, the identity, how to eat for your body, food, energetics, and so much more. It's unbelievable. So 1 week only. The sale ends January 4th. So get it now. But before we wrap up, I just want to speak to the women who are listening and really thinking that they get this and that this is them. If you want the step-by-step support and everything we talked about today, the identity shift, the mindset around food, and the practical structure and the step-by-step plan, so you don't have to worry about it and all of the noise out there, then this is exactly why I created Love Your Body, Lose the Weight. This program teaches you how to transform your relationship with food and your body so you're not constantly starting over or fighting yourself. This isn't about restriction. It's about becoming the woman who naturally loves herself, takes care of her body, and knows what her body needs. We're at that age where this is necessary, right? And so, like I said, the first 20 women who join also get this live group coaching call with me. This is going to be an intimate container where I answer your specific questions, do hot seat coaching, and help you personalize this program to work for your body and your life. So the program is 50% off, 1 week only sale. And I'm just so excited. And those of you that feel ready, use the link in my bio or scan this barcode on the screen right now. The other things that I want to say when we're going into the things that you can do this week, as I shared, start off, you're going to do your 8 ounces of water, then you're going to do your lemon water, shot of apple cider vinegar. You're going to start moving your body each day and creating a plan. You're going to start lifting weights, and you're going to lift heavy. You're going to lift to the point where you cannot complete 5 to 8 reps. You feel like you need to drop the weight. That's what's really pushing your muscles to atrophy, and that's what's going to help to shape and tone your body more quickly. I want you to do compound movements. A compound movement is doing a squat with an overhead press. Doing things like that not only rev your metabolism, but have you burning calories past your workout, while also helping you to shift your identity, because you are actually proving to yourself that, yes, I can do this. I can do this while you're toning and leaning your body. These types of movements, squats with an overhead press, doing Russian twists with a medicine ball, doing ab rotations, right? And leg kickbacks at the same time. These movements, not only are they having you think differently, but this is what supports the brain and aging backwards while changing your body. Again, this is what I'm talking about doing compound movements, doing as much as you can. And that's why everything that I do is about how can I get my biggest bang for my buck. Eating in a way, when we eat clean, whole foods closest to their natural state, they are giving you the highest nutritional profile. And when you eat like that, you no longer have the cravings. You are getting fuller faster. Your body's learning what it needs, and it's getting the fuel that it needs to thrive. And then you're training your body. Yes, I want more of that. And then that's what it starts craving in place of the sugar. This is what we want to do. We want to crowd out the unhealthy foods and unhealthy habits with habits that serve us, right? With habits that are going to give you what you need. And so that's where I want you to start to look at. Oh, this is a great question, Amanda. So what would, she's asking, how can I structure a workout to change your body? So what I would advise with this is at least doing 30 minutes of, so don't do more. And this is a mistake that many women make after 40. Please stop with the HIIT training. I don't want you doing an hour-long HIIT training. No more than 20 to 30 minutes of HIIT is high-intensity cardio, right? It's high-intensity intervals. And what that would look like is doing burpees, and then, doing a squat with an overhead press and medicine ball slams, all of these things that are revving and really, really keeping your heart rate elevated in intervals. So I don't want you doing that more than 20 to 30 minutes. That's the big difference between a woman in her 40s and a woman in her 20s. I used to do workouts like that for an hour, even 90 minutes. You don't want to do more than that. It's actually going to stall your weight loss. We don't want that. So you're going to do 20 to 30 minutes of high intensity cardio or steady state cardio for 30 to 45 minutes. And then what I would love on the alternating days, or you can add on to that, 20 to 30 minutes of weight training. And I want I want you to lift heavy. I want you to really lift heavy. And so what is heavy for you? That's a very great question. So you'll know, because again, you can't do more than 5 to 8 bicep curls. So let's use that as an example. If you're lifting 5 pounds and you're like, it's so easy, I could do like 20 of these. No, I would rather you get 20 pounds and keep good form, but only be able to do 5 and be like, I have to drop the weight. Like, I feel like my arm's going to fall off. That's what's going to burn your muscle to atrophy, which means it's going to break down the muscle fibers and build it up more quickly. So you're going to get defined arms that much more quickly. It also means that you're burning your metabolism. You're burning more calories for an extended period of time. That's how I like to train. That's how I teach my clients to train. That's what we have inside my Love Your Body, Lose the Weight program. That's a prime example. So you want to weight train 2 to 3 days a week. And again, you guys have to meet yourself. I don't know you specifically. So I don't know if you're not working out at all, then you want to start off and do 2 to 3 days a week. If you're already doing 2 to 3 days a week, then add on another day or add more intensity or add more reps. And that's the way that you want to train your body. And that's how you're really going to see changes. Start to look at when you're looking, what did we do when we started off this call, right? We started off about building the identity, creating the identity. You have to create the identity first. You cannot start a workout routine and changing the way you eat if you are not clear on the version of you that you want to be. That identity, that's what we do inside Love Your Body, Lose the Weight. The identity is everything. And that's what I truly believe helped me to not only release the weight, but never gain it back again. Even when I went through cancer and other things, yes, I would go up a few pounds, but I never worried about it. I don't worry. If I gain weight, I'm not stressed. I don't care. I do not care because I trust myself. I trust my body and I know my body and I know what it needs. And I love myself no matter what. You have to create the identity of the woman who is confident, of the woman who has and trusts herself, of the woman who feels at peace around food, of the woman who knows that she can eat what she wants and is in complete control, of the woman who loves herself no matter what, of the woman who knows that her and her body are one and the same and she loves herself. She knows she's more than this body. Her worth does not come from her weight, of a woman who is the star of her life. It is not food. And so when you know that, then you build, I am a woman who moves her body daily. I am a woman who moves her body. She doesn't need to go to the gym every day. She goes, but she moves no matter what. Like, I'm in my workout clothes. I'm doing this, then I'm going to go and move my body. I go and I do what my body feels called to. But if I end up getting sick one week and I don't work out for a week, I'm not like, oh my God. And then it's right. Like, I remember last year I was in a boot for almost 3 months. I still went to the gym. I kept my identity. I wasn't like, oh, good, I don't have to go anymore. And now I've got to train. No, because I created a fit identity. I created a version of me who, no matter what, loves herself and takes care of herself, and she eats healthy. And since I created that identity, then everyone in my family mirrored it back to me. Oh, Melissa eats this, Melissa eats that. Melissa, we got you these foods because we know that you don't like to blah, blah, blah. They ended up showing up for me. Do you get what I'm saying? So they ended up mirroring me back to me. I had that identity. So the identity comes first, and then it's, oh, Melissa, we knew that, we thought you might want to get up in the morning and meditate or walk. So we blah, 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 blah. And that became my identity. And it stayed with me. Create the identity first. Get off the dieting train. Be the version that trusts that this is one and done, that from this point forward, you release the weight and it is done. Be proud of that woman. And then you cement in the identity shift by celebrating her, by being proud of her, by loving her, and by owning, yes, this is me. And that's how you continue to show up in that way. You must celebrate you every step of the way. All right. I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here. Any other questions, let me know. Barcode right here. Wait, where is it? There. Love Your Body, Lose Weight on sale until January 4th. You will not see this sale again at 50% off. Globally recognized program that has supported thousands, and it's a program that I did, divinely downloaded, that forever changed my life. It will do the same for you. If you are done with dieting, so sick of being on the train of the losing and the gaining, this is the program for you. Watch what happens. And it's truly about shifting your identity, changing your relationship with food, and forever changing the way that your body looks and feels. Trust me, you're going to love it. And I'm so excited for you. First 20 to buy, you will get a bonus with me live, and I can't wait to support you in that as well. All my love. Any questions? Also, you can always email support@melissacatherine.com, and we are here for you every step of the way, or DM me. All my love, guys, and here's to an epic 2026 where you look and feel so amazing. Welcome in your healthy girl era. It is time for you to go for your dreams and to be done with dieting for good. All my love. Bye.